Hey guys, welcome back to Life with 18 Cats. If you're new here, I'm Kim. Welcome to the channel. So glad to have you. I am sitting here currently with little Miss Hannibal. Oh, you can't see her face. Oh no, which way am I going? This way am I going? Okay, there's Hannibal. She is chilling in the chair with me right now. Yeah.
Oh, hey,
But
cats.
so let's check in with everybody real quick because we have a lot to get to today. We have a special guest today, and I want to get to everything here. So, Jenna, are you there?
Oh, hey, Kim.
Oh, hey, Jenna.
Oh, hey, guys. Hi, Kat.
Hi, Kat. How are you doing, hun? Cam says, hi, Jenna. Hi, all. Hi, honey.
Oh, Ken Marby's here. Hi, Ken. Good to see you.
Jenna, maybe. Jenna.
Yes, I'm here.
Jenna, maybe, not Marby.
Oh, not Marby. Ken Marby. That's our inside thing. He loves
That's
it.
right. Hi, Ken.
See?
How you doing, hun?
Good to see you, Ken.
Yes, good to see you, Ken.
Hi, Ginger.
Hi, Ginger. How you doing, honey?
This is where I left off in chat saying hello because I had to get back to the intro. Hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather. How you doing, honey? Deborah. Hi, Deborah. I'm having a really sad day. Cammie, I saw it already. I am so sorry, honey. And Ken, I appreciate that very much. I don't know if you saw my stream the other night, but yeah, no, it meant a lot to me that you jumped in and you were willing to come to my defense when it came to the cats. I really wanted to say thank you very much for that. It really, honest to God, meant a lot to me. So thank you. And Coffee Cat. Hi, Coffee Cat.
I think I missed Irma. Hi, Irma. Sorry.
Hi, Irma. How you doing, honey?
I think we're all checked in. Here's somebody on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook
Pradip.
friend.
Is it Pradip? Pradip? I am going to guess. Listen. If anybody knows me, yeah, you know that I'm bad at this, so I apologize if I butcher that at all. I tried.
Hi, Lauren.
Lauren, how you doing, honey? Marcel, nobody wants to see your butt.
Ken was asking if you saw the link.
Yes, thank you. And just if anybody missed it in chat, there is another update on Ollie. So if you guys want to see the update, I guess he was renamed George Burns, which let me tell you, I love that so much. And Tiny Fairy's here. Hi, Tiny Fairy. Oh, yes. Hi, honey. And Charlene's here. Okay, so and Cammie, we can talk. We can talk later. I know you're going through a lot. I'm really sorry, honey. I am so sorry. We're going to get through this, sweetie. We will. And tell them if you saw the video, what happened. I haven't seen the video yet, Ken. I have not seen the video yet. This is the first I've heard of it. So yeah, everybody can go look at it. I will definitely go look at it and see the update after the stream's over. But thank you for letting everybody know, hon. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate you being in here. I really do. I really want you to know that. Okay, so today he was adopted. Oh, he was adopted. Oh, good. Yay. Spoiler alert, guys. He's adopted. But you know, like I said, go check it out anyways. So we have a very special guest today. So without further ado, I am going to introduce a good friend of the channel, and I'd like to say a good friend of mine. We'll see what he says when he gets on here. But I want you guys to all meet Andy. Hi, Andy.
Oh, hey, girls.
Oh, hey, Andy.
Oh, hey, guys.
And that's the show. I'm done.
That's it. We can go. Thanks for coming.
Guys. Have a great day.
Oh my God, Andy, that was so perfect. And I know I saw Heather, just the first thing that popped up was, oh, hey, Andy.
Oh, hey, Heather. You'll be doing that half the show now.
You're going to be doing that half the show, yup. I love that so much. Andy, thank you so much, honey, for being in here and hanging out with us and doing this. I really appreciate it because I know you have a busy schedule.
Oh, that's no problem. I love checking out your show. I love what you and Jenna are doing. I support it. Apparently, my neighbor's dog also supports it. And Yeah.
Andy,
No.
can we get a oh hey cats in real time?
Oh, hey, cats.
Yay! It sounds the exact same. See, listen. Okay,
It sounds like Jenna just did the drop, man.
ready? I turned up my drop a bit here. This is the drop.
Oh, hey, cats.
There
It's
you
like I love it, Andy. Thank you so much.
Like,
It's my
oh, no
favorite thing
problem.
to do on the live streams.
Thank you. You guys are easy to please, so that's great. That's easy for
We
me.
are very easy. Yes, very much so. Very much so. Tiny Fairy says, "Oh, hey, Andy."
Oh, hey, Tiny. Tiny Fairy in the house. Oh, hey, Ginger Mast.
Yep, you're gonna do this half the show. And Cammy, yep, that made me smile. Cammy, I'm so glad it made you smile, honey. Please keep smiling. Please, 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 honey. We'll talk later though, sweetie. So Andy, because it's very obvious right off the bat, and I mean, I think most people can tell you've got a very good sense of humor. And I know that comes with a lot of things you do in your personal life and what you do for a job. So let's start with, why are you so funny?
Why am I so funny?
Yes, you are funny.
Wow. I've never been asked that before.
Well, now you
why?
have.
Because it feels good. I think
Okay.
that's why.
Okay.
I mean, I've always tried to see the humor in things, like just in regular conversation or just, daily life things. And I mean, I appreciate the fact that you guys think that I'm funny in the first place. So, I mean, that's great.
I think you're hilarious.
Maybe I think being around the guys I work with for a long time, working with professional comedians and that tends to rub off.
Okay. So now, what do you do for a main job? Let's start with that.
My main job would be being a podcast producer.
Okay.
I produce a show with Joe the Frog, 3 different podcasts. One of them mainly called TSN, the Shuley Network, where 4 comedians come on and we have a great time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you work around comedians and you're a funny guy. That makes sense.
Oh.
You've also been featured as an Jenna. I think you have a graphic for this. You guys might have seen him before because we actually had him featured as our pet of the week one week.
Oh yeah, this was an early one. Let me drop the overlay.
JJ.
JJ.
My man.
So you want to? So I know we did like a little snippet about, and this is kind of where, Andy's very helpful in other ways. We'll get to that, but he's also a cat lover and animal lover. Period.
I am.
And so yeah, we featured him, and I wanted to just get, if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, tell us a little bit about JJ.
JJ was a cat that my daughter and granddaughters got, and he was just amazing. He was actually raised an indoor-outdoor cat, so he's outside for say 6-8 hours a day, and then be in for the rest of the day. And he kind of liked to rule his neighborhood, so to speak. He later on, like that picture you see there, he's probably about 11 years old there. My daughter and granddaughters moved to another place, but they couldn't take pets. So of course I took JJ. So I had him and I for a little over a year at my place. And then when my daughter and granddaughters moved again somewhere else where they could have JJ, they took him back. He had a bit of a rough time. One time while he was staying with me, as I said, he's an outdoor cat. He got in a fight. I would assume it was with a raccoon. It was just a bad, like an opening in his neck or whatever that Jay had. So obviously I had to take him to the vet and get him fixed up and everything else. And thankfully he was fine. But then about a year later, he ended up just getting very sick and passed away. And it kind of happened really quickly. It was just within about, say, 3 days. So not to bring the room down, but yeah, it was a tough moment. I mean, you're losing a family member, someone you love so much. It's it's tough. And I'm very grateful though, because JJ was such a great cat and brought so much happiness to us, and just so happy and friendly and has his own personality. And I've always loved cats too.
So. Their story is how we keep their memories alive. So that's, I mean, it doesn't really bring down the room. We know that they come and they go. It's just a fact of life.
Yeah.
But we remember them fondly, right?
Absolutely. Oh, JJ was great. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. I bet.
I have something fun here, because whenever Andy and Joe are in a meeting and I happen to go into Joe's office for whatever reason, give him a cup of coffee, sit down, ask him a question, yada, yada, And if there's a cat in there, I'll pick up the cat and I'll get behind Joe and I'll pick it up but only if it's Andy. If it's any of the other guys,
Right.
I don't cat bomb them. I just pick up one of the cats, whichever one I happens to be near me at the time, and I'll so Andy gets special treatment.
He gets kitty bombed all the time, huh? That's so cute. I love that.
I've been enjoying the story of Hannibal.
Have you?
Yeah.
So you've been following the story? Yeah, she's
from the start. Yeah.
Yeah, she's quite. Listen, you guys, I'll tell you what. She does not want to be kept in it. She wants to be at Witten House. She wants to now use the big kitty litter boxes. She wants to eat from the big kitty trough. She wants to be with the big kitties. She wants to snuggle around on the couch with the other kitties. If you know any of the stories of the cats, you know Mittens is our big bully in the house.
My very first cat was named Mittens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was the one that she was snuggling with last night, and he was sitting there grooming her and just loving on her. And I was like, all right, mission accomplished. That made me feel good. So yeah, so things are going really well. So I'm really glad that you're following that story. She's a great addition to the house.
Yeah, what a sweetheart.
Yeah, she is. So now let's see. How did I meet Andy? Let's start with that. I'm hold up. Is that a real background? No, it's green screen.
You don't address that. They were impressed with the piano back there.
Yes.
Yeah. I got fooled when I first was going back online too, and a friend of mine was sitting there, and I'm like, "How'd you get a house like that? What's going on?"
I know. I was kind of sitting there going, "Dang, my house looks real bad compared to that, Andy."
Yeah. Mine's not quite as impressive, but it does the trick.
Right. So I met Andy because, as you guys know, anybody who's been around long enough knows the story of how I met Jenna. Jenna was a subscriber to the channel, and her husband has some experience with producing YouTube channel shows and whatnot. So she actually contacted me and wanted to help and offered the help. So she started helping, and along with that came help. And along with that came the help of her husband, Joe. And along with that came the help with Andy, who works with Joe. So Andy has been so gracious and so wonderful in the back end of this, with Jenna helping out with everything from the emojis to the badges to some of our merchandise. I don't know if I've got the whole list, Jenna. You work on the stuff I do.
I had no experience doing anything graphic design, production wise, running live streams, making thumbnails for videos. I had zero experience. When I approached you, I looked at Andy and Joe and I said, well, they'll have my back,
Absolutely.
And I spoke to Joe about it and he said, yeah, I'll help you, and when I first reached out to Andy, I was like, could you give me a hand? And I don't have all the tools or the wherewithal. And Andy's family to us. So he helped with, open arms in a sense. And it was really appreciated because look how far we've come, Kim, with the help of people like Andy. And
yes.
Something as simple as the merchandise. I had a graphic that was printing, the colors were transposed. And I don't know anything about transposing colors in graphic design or anything. And, Andy, the technical guy he is, 10 minutes, the graphics back. I'm like, oh, geez, thanks. No rush, but geez. Right. So I appreciate it, Andy, honestly. You've been so much help.
Yes.
Oh, you're very welcome, Jenna. Like I said, you guys are family to me as well. So, yeah. Anytime I can help out, I definitely will. Of course.
Listen, we both appreciate that so much. Believe me, especially me, because I'm sitting here going, if you remember, I don't know how much you saw from the beginning, but when this channel did something I didn't expect, I panicked. And that's why I think that's why Jenna reached out, because I'm sitting on a video one day just going, I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. This was not what I planned happen. Jenna's like, I think I need to help her.
Yeah, so, you had just gotten monetized. I think you had just gotten monetized and people were asking you about live streams and different things. And you're like, I don't know. And I said, well, I know a little bit. So maybe two minds better than one.
Yep.
And look at all the people that are following you now. It's amazing.
I know.
I'm
so incredibly humbled by that.
Amazing.
But you had a hand in that, Andy. You, Jenna, Joe, and it takes a village, man, to raise Kim. We've already talked about that.
Takes a community, that's for sure.
So questions for Andy. Andy, do you find that in your work and in your life that comedians are per se always on?
That's a good question. Well, I think from my experience and who I've met and who I work with, I think there are different kinds of comedians. The comedians that I or myself and Joe work with, they're always on, but because they're always funny. Doesn't mean they always have to make a joke and stuff, but they have a great sense of humor, obviously, as well as being funny and be able to craft a joke, write a joke, tell a joke on stage, whatever it is. I wouldn't say they're on like in any like a fake way or like, oh, I have to be funny kind of thing. It's not that. They're just being themselves, kind of like how we are. And the only difference is they make funny out of it a lot of the time. And once the podcast starts, they're on and they're laughing. Come on, look at the frog. Think about babblers.
Yay! Thank you, Joe, so much.
Oh,
that,
hey, Cass.
that would be Andy's co-producer.
That's it.
Thank you
my
so
friend,
much.
my partner,
Yes.
my brother.
Yes, definitely. You two are two peas in a pod for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
He's helped me in so many ways too. Like you talk about how I've helped you ladies. He's helped me in the same way as well. There's so much I just didn't know or wasn't doing. And in I guess the last couple of years, a lot has been accomplished, and I do a hell of a lot more now than I did a couple of years ago. I was mainly an artist, animator, graphic design, any kind of stuff like that. But to produce podcasts, I never had, until I started working with Shuli. That's our boss and head of the Shuli network, of course. But Joe showed me so much, and I've gotten to get a lot of stuff done in a shorter amount of time than say if I was just doing it myself or learning on my own.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, you guys do a lot. You guys work really hard. You guys do a great job. I'm always in awe of how you guys do what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When you're doing something you love, it's you wake up every morning enjoying the day, looking forward to it instead of,
dreading it.
Dreading it. Exactly.
Yeah. What I always say this, and it's one of those phrases that they have. If you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for you guys.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
love it.
Heather Stewart, thank you so much for gifting that membership, honey. I really appreciate it. Thank you. There was another question somebody had asked. Where'd it go? Jenna. Oh, there it is. Yes. Andy, did you grow up with cats?
I did.
You did.
I did. Always, yeah. I'll tell you
Yes.
I'll tell you the pussy story.
Oh God. Okay. This is
my very first cat. Like I was I think 5, and we got this cat called Mittens. But I always related cats to Pussycat. I hear it in cartoons or just people talking about Pussycat. So I started calling Mittens Pussycat, and I shortened it to just Pussy.
Oh God.
I would say Pussy. My mom started doing the same thing. She started calling our cat Pussy. But when people would come over to the house and we're calling cat Pussy, they're like looking at us sideways, like, why are you saying that? Like, I'd be walking around the house going, where's my pussy? Where's my pussy?
Oh my God, that's so good.
It'd be like a family Christmas event or whatever. They're all looking at us kind of like, why are you saying that? And they had to take my mom aside and tell her, do you know what that word also means?
Right.
Yeah. So we were, I grew up in the church. We were a pretty religious family. So yeah, it went right back to Mittens really quick.
Right.
Well, the cat was probably confused.
Oh, the other cat was probably a little concerned. Yeah. Exactly. Ken, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there.
Exactly.
I just want to grab this one real quick, Jenna. Because this is my cousin. I just had to say thanks, Christy. I love you, honey. I miss you guys.
Kim does look great.
Something. Aw, Andy. We're going to Florida. That's all there is.
Right? That's it.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. We're going.
I'm not either.
Nobody's kidding.
I'll go.
Nobody's kidding in that matter.
Right.
Andy, can we go to Disney World?
I would love to. I've only been once.
Oh my God, yay.
A long time ago. I would go in a second. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I went when I was 18 and I've been dying to go back.
I went when I was 12.
Did you?
Yeah. Which makes about 70 years ago now. But yeah, I want to go back.
Oh my gosh. Okay, listen. Don't play with my emotions here, Andy. We're going to Disney World.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this happen.
I'm so excited about this. Oh my God. Now I'm
Yeah.
really glad that everything worked out the way it did, where I have this voucher sitting there to take a plane trip somewhere.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, because my
Perfect.
trip to Minnesota the flight I had got canceled. And there's
Right.
no available ones to do that with. So they gave me a voucher that's good until January. So yeah. Oh, Christy. Oh, I love you, honey, so much. Oh,
Oh, hey, Christy.
thank you so much for that one, Andy. My dad had a cat called Turd Pork. Oh my God, Stacey, that's so funny. I'm so glad that cats don't understand what we're saying
I
sometimes.
know, right? Yeah.
Otherwise,
Now I
we'd have
don't
to
feel
have.
so bad.
I
I had a cat named Kitty. It's like, well, at least it was named Kitty. You know, it's
Yeah.
a little
My
gentler.
girlfriend had a cat. We named her CAT, so her name was C80, but it was CAT. Yeah,
I like that.
and she's so clever that she had a dog named DOG. DOG.
Jeez.
Yeah, she was real clever that way. I was like, wow, yeah.
It's kind of like
I had a
what
cat
Heather's
named
saying.
Jiffy. Oh God, that's so funny. You guys, I love the names, you guys.
Right.
So now, what was I going to ask you?
I have a
Okay.
question.
Yeah, go ahead, Jenna.
Could I interrupt really quick? Because I
Yes,
know
real
Andy does like animation and stuff. And I wondered, did you ever do any animation of like anything with cats or cats in it, or anything like that? Like, do you use animals in your animations?
I do actually. I'll tell you two quick stories.
Okay.
When I got to be hired by an animation studio, which was crazy in itself because I never got to go to school for it. I wanted to, but I wasn't able to. I had to start taking regular jobs and whatever. Long story short, I went to this animation studio, and thankfully, because of my resume, and I told them I'd work volunteer for 3 months. And if they liked me, take me on. If not, I'll just say thank you for the experience and the time and move on. So thankfully, within weeks, they offered me a year's salary, and within a couple more weeks, they gave me like a $10,000 raise. It was incredible. But on that animation, at the studio, we're working on a project called Pottersfield Pond. It's out there somewhere. And anyways, it's about animals, and the cat is the villain in the story.
Oh no.
So it's kind of the protagonist or whatever. So, but it's a children's, cartoon or series. We did 3 of them. There was let me think. No, that was the only cat that was in there. Like I said, the cat played the villain in this one.
I was
The
writing
latest.
it down so I could look it up later.
Right?
Oh,
I know.
yeah, I
Thank
think
you,
it's
Jenna.
on.
I'm glad you
I
did
think
that.
there's a couple clips on YouTube if you look up Pottersfield Pond.
Pottersfield Pond.
Yeah, like I said, it was a religious-based children's series.
So now, when they say Pottersfield in that title, is it
It's a
literally a
farmer's
Potter's-
name.
okay?
This
Okay,
kinda
I was
takes
just wondering 'cause
place-
I know what a
Yeah,
Potter's
kind of takes place on a farm. I mean,
Right.
there's a bird named Swoop, a raccoon named Rocket.
Oh,
Slink, I believe, was the cat's name.
oh, that's so cute. I just love
Yeah.
that. Now I really want to find it. I really want to find it. Hi, Hannibal. Were you trying to get my attention? I'm sorry. I'm right here. I got you.
Oh, hey Andy, can you tell
Yeah.
us about the figure with the sunglasses and the
I was
overlay
literally just
here?
gonna say the
Were
same
you?
thing. Thank you.
I
Yes.
knew that. How did that come to be, and who is that?
That picture we're looking at the bottom right corner is the real Don Jameson, and I by chance am discount Don Jameson. The show we produce on the Shuli Network called Uncle Rico. We were in the green room, like before the show, how you guys or guests or whoever are behind the screen, like I was today before the show, and we're just talking. And a guest we have on who is a longtime Howard Stern person. You guys are probably familiar with at least the name Howard Stern.
Yes.
Casey Armstrong was our guest, and he was in the green room, and he just looked at me and goes, "Oh, hey, Don Jameson." So I happened to, by chance, do a Don Jameson impression because I met Don years before, and he actually left a message on my machine. And I just walk around my house copying the message that he sent me, like just for a joke to myself, just during the day, I'd just say it to myself, just to laugh or whatever. So when Casey mistaked me for the real Don Jameson, I did my impression, and everyone in the green room broke up. They loved it. And they said, "Oh, you
So-
got to do that on air. You got to do that on air." So we went on air, and then they asked me to do the impression. and I did it once or two more times during the show. I'd pop on and say something, and it just kind of rolled from there.
So
And
Casey Armstrong, found that in you, that Don Jameson in you, and you developed the impersonation.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was, and it was just by chance. Like he just happened to mistake me for Don Jameson. I mean, I wasn't looking.
Oh, he really thought you were.
He thought I was actually Don Jameson, and who's a very funny guy, by the way. If you guys want to laugh,
Yes.
check out some of his stuff on Twitter and YouTube. And
Yes. I
there's a
Hysterical
show actually we
person.
produce with him called That Rocks. Joe and I produce.
Yep.
And yeah, Don's a great guy. I've known him for a long time, but it was.
So now, what does Don think of this impression that you do?
Well, Don loves it. He didn't like I said, we've been friends since 2008, and he didn't know when I started doing this impression because people started texting him and twittering him saying, "Have you heard Discount Don Jameson? Do you know what's going on there?" So for a while, he didn't know it was me, and even when we were producing the show, Joe and I would never even mention it. I just, "Hey Don, how you doing?" We'd talk, whatever, and then one day it came up, or I did the impression, and Don's like, "Oh, you're the guy." Really? He was surprised it was me. So
It's so funny.
we've actually been on a couple of shows together, and yeah, he's been very kind towards my impression of him. But
It's a
like
lot
he
of
says, he
fun.
goes, now I don't have to do a bunch of gigs, or if people are asking me to be on a podcast, I'll just get discount instead.
There
if
you
my schedule's too
go.
heavy.
Nobody will know.
Yeah, I just walk
That's
around
so-
talking like this all the time.
I absolutely. Oh my god! Every time I hear that, it just makes me laugh so much. I love that.
And when I started coming on the air too, I was trying to think of something like to pop on, like, "Hey, like, what am I doing here?" Or, "Hey, what are you guys doing here?" So that's where I just came up with the, "Oh, hey," "Oh, hey," surprised. You're surprised. I'm surprised. "Oh, hey, guys, what's going on?" And just kind of steamrolled
That's
from
so
there.
great.
So
That's
Brings
so
the fun right from the get-go, right from the greeting. We're already having fun,
That's right.
that's it. That's what life's about.
That's right. It is about that.
Or a
It is
boot.
about that.
Yeah.
How cold is it up there where you are today,
Yeah.
Andy?
It's actually really nice. It's 29 degrees Celsius here, which would make it your guys about 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit. It's really hot.
It's so not. Listen, don't make it any hotter here than we have to have it. Okay.
It's probably about 82 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh my god, I love that.
But yeah,
Little
it's really,
cooler.
it's
All
warm.
day. Can you just give us the whole entire weather spiel in that? I'm kidding. You don't have to do that. So now you mentioned Howard Stern and the guys that used to work for Howard Stern, and you obviously do a show. How did you get into that? How did you get to be with the guys that you're with now?
Okay. Started off just listening to the show many years. Howard Stern, like once he was available up here.
Right.
There was someone who was calling into the show, which happened to be Shuley, who we work with now. And he was a caller to the Howard Stern show. He'd call in with jokes and you have games and different stuff. And I just kind of, I loved and related to his humor. And he, long story short, he got hired to be on Howard Stern. He worked for Howard Stern for 15 years. They got a show called The Miserable Men Show when they moved to satellite radio. So I started calling into that show, The Miserable Men Show. So that's how I got connected with them.
So now the people that called into Howard Stern, weren't they? Was that what the Whack Pack was?
Well, yes, definitely. Yeah, they would always call into the show many, many times. Yeah,
Right.
they're just crazy, wacky. Like what probably a lot of us would consider normal would be abnormal. But in a lot of ways, in lovable ways, like Howard Stern took in everybody. Like you think about it, like a lot of people would never be given opportunities to do what they did on that show if he didn't take them in and see what people would see as disadvantages more as advantages.
Right. Exactly.
You're unique, you're different. Yep. You are special no matter who you are. So it's kind of but he saw that through humor.
Right.
So anyways, a lot of other people, excuse me, called the show. I called the Howard Stern show a handful of times. But the day before I called Shuley's show, it's called The Miserable Men Show, which was one of Howard Stern's, because he had 2 channels, Howard 100, Howard 101, still does. Shuli and Bob Levy, Mike Morris had a radio show called The Miserable Men Show, and I'd call in. I was listening for a while, and my girlfriend at the time's like, "You should call in. You're always making comments and talking to them. Like they can't hear you. Like phone them." So I decided I'll give them a call and just see how it goes. Hey guys, I'm a big fan. Whatever. I was a little nervous too, so I called in the show. They pick up the phone. Richard Simmons show. I'm like, "Oh, hello." Like, "Oh, are you one of the guests for Richard Simmons tonight?" I said, "Yes, I am." I'm like, "What's going on right now?" All of a sudden, like within about 20 minutes, if you guys are familiar with who Richard Simmons is, unfortunately, he just passed away a few weeks ago. I called into the Richard Simmons show. I called in the day before. I called in on a Saturday instead of the Sunday, and they were using the same phone number at the radio station to take calls. So all of a sudden now I'm on the Richard Simmons show for like 20, for 20 minutes, half an hour. And he's just asking me, of course, about my weight loss and all kinds of stuff. And I didn't really have anything to relate to because I never really was big or needed to necessarily lose weight or whatever. But I was trying to go in different directions, and Richard keep trying to direct me back into talking about weight loss and that. But no, it was a fun time. And he actually ended up sending me a book, and we corresponded a little bit on Twitter over the years. But the next day I called into the actual show I meant to call into, the Miserable Men Show, and talked to the guys, and we had a great call, and it was so much fun. And I'm like, I got to call in next week. So I just started calling in every week, and I had this plan, like this 2-year plan to maybe get in with them, like on the inside, like use, like so I could sell my artwork or get in somehow, like whether it's graphic design or animation, advertising, whatever it is they needed, promotion. So I just started sending them in artwork. And then Shuli mentioned it on the air, like, "Oh, you're the guy that sends in the artwork, right, Andy?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, it's amazing. You guys go check it out and see what he's up to." And all of a sudden I started getting jobs. All of a sudden I'm starting to literally pay the bills doing artwork because of them mentioning me on the radio. And there's so many people out there listening, small, very small percentage, but I mean, we're talking a lot of people would call and ask me if I did this and that. Can you do this? And so all of a sudden I'm publishing for a book and working on different graphics, and it was great. It was such a fun experience. So to answer your question, that you probably asked about half an hour ago, I got in with the guys, and we were friends ever since. And then when this whole podcast thing started up, I started watching that, and then Shuli approached me a couple times to work for him, wanted me to work for him. So I'm like, sounds great. And that was just for my graphics and the artwork I did. So from that time on, I learned to produce podcasts and edit videos, thanks to Joe, and some other stuff we do, and other podcasts as well. Like the one podcast that we're doing now led to another podcast, podcast. So, it's been such a fun ride, a great time, and
you guys are the best in the biz. I say it all the time.
Yep, I agree. So it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but just after listening to that, it sounds kind of like to me like Shuli kind of went and took what was given to him, the chance he was given by Howard Stern by being a call-in, whatever. He turned around, he kind of paid it forward and did the same for other people like you.
Yes, he did. And Shuli's done that for a lot of people. He's done it for a lot of people. That's a great way to look at it too. Yeah.
And I think that's amazing, that because there's so many people once they like start getting popular and they start making their way, they forget where they came from.
Some do.
And it's nice to hear that Shuli has not forgotten where he came from, and he's trying to do for others what was done for him, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, he's a great guy to work for. Shuli Egar, you guys should check him out, whether it's on our podcast or even stuff he's done on YouTube, Howard Stern.
I think we have a Shuli feature here.
Breaking news! This just in.
I love it.
For our member stream, and we do monthly cat news reports, from around the world. And I said, we need the breaking news. Yep. In the Dusty Rhodes style.
That's right.
Yep. Because I love Dusty Rhodes. Listen, I'm a huge fan of like back in the day, the AWA and stuff. Oh,
absolutely.
Oh God, I loved that stuff when I was a kid.
Me too. Shuli does a great impression of him too. And on our podcast, I don't know how it started, but people are now requesting me to do different impressions.
Yeah.
So some are good, some are terrible, but we hopefully laugh through most of them.
We
But,
laugh through all of them, Andy.
Yes.
You're fabulous. All even the impressions when somebody throws one at Andy that he might not know,
Right.
he just pauses a second and then he does his best. He just what is it? What does
I
it
have
sound like?
literally
It'll
heard
sound
him
like.
do that.
yeah, I
Yes,
got
I
hit with
literally heard him
Tracy
do
Morgan
that.
yesterday.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, we do Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
Hey,
The new one.
I just want to make babies.
Oh my God.
Hi, Chris Wiley. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Chris. How you doing? Oh, look at everybody's happy to meet you. I listen,
Nice to meet you,
Andy,
Chris.
I was looking forward to this so much. I really was.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you guys having me on. It's fun.
Yeah. So now, what was I just gonna? Oh my gosh, I just had something in my head. Jenna, help! I just had something in my head. You seem to know what's in my head.
I know what's in your head. I mean,
I said,
most
do
of
you-
the time. I mean, most of the time I
literally had a question and then I
do.
went to ask it and I forgot.
I think Ginger wants a greeting.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Ginger Mast.
Thank you, Andy. Put it up there
Of course.
twice. I missed the first one. I'm
Oh,
like,
sorry, I
oh
was going to say
no.
it too, but I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
I remember the first time I came into one of the streams and I wanted Andy to say, "Oh, hey, Sunday, Jenna." So like I wrote a super chat, to the show he was on, but I wrote Andy instead of Discount Don Jameson, because I'm like, well, it's Andy to me, but it's Discount Don
Right.
character. Who do I ask? So I always you get confused sometimes. It's Andy doing Discount Don.
Right.
That's funny.
And I listen, I like Andy as Andy and I like Andy as Discount Don. It doesn't matter to me. I think both are hilarious. Both are great.
Well, we both like
100%.
you. We really do.
I love the fact that you have multiple personalities because it makes me feel like we're not alone.
It helps too because I stopped taking
Yes.
my medication, so it's a lot easier
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, it seems like our other personalities get along just fine. So hey. Is this Andy from Toy Story all grown up? I don't know. Is it? Is it, Andy?
Do I have to work on a Tom Hanks impression now?
I think you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. I think that's what we're calling for. But you can work on that. You can practice.
Andy, do you have any pets in your household now? I forget.
I do not.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you said that.
Yeah. I thought about it after JJ passed, but I was also working so much and it was unpredictable when I was in the house and not in the house. And I just kind of
Yeah.
want, if I have a cat, again, I want to make sure I'm kind of there. Now, obviously, I know I can go out and shop and do regular things and that, but I
Yeah,
just
but
kind of want
not
to be able to
be
spend more time too. Like even when I'm sitting here, most of the time I'm working and
exactly.
literally.
I think I
So-
understand, and I watch Joe. He, we have a dog, and the dog loves Joe, wants to go for walks, wants to go
Right.
out. Sometimes the other day I went into Joe's office, and the dog's just sitting on the chair next to him, quiet, being good,
No.
because sometimes you miss, the time with the animals, and the animals notice,
Right.
like. So I commend you for, saying, you know what, maybe now's not the perfect time for me to get another animal. You
Yeah,
don't
it just-
necessarily have the time. Yeah.
Yeah, like even just like I said, sitting here and the cat wanting my attention, I obviously want to, sit and hang out and,
Yeah.
pet him or her. And I just wouldn't have the time that I would normally take, It'd almost be like I'm ignoring the cat, like, even though it's right beside me.
That's why you get a lot of them, Andy, so that they can all keep each other company.
I should just get 18 cats. Right?
Andy,
When
with
you go out to
18
dinner, do you have to dress them all up or do they just go as themselves or are there special collars you put on them? And are there
I
any
have to dress
restaurants
them up
that
as dogs.
dress them up as dogs?
Well, because otherwise they're not allowed out in public.
Oh, okay.
So we go incognito. Yeah.
Incognito, right.
Oh my
that's
God,
funny.
too funny. Holy cow. God,
Well,
I can't even.
Sometimes, Andy, I do see on the streams that you're producing, Shuli has a cat that likes to come on his computer and kind of his tail winds up in the shot and he's trying to pet the cat. And I think it was the other night and he had to pick it up and move it away. It reminds me of me back here. Lila is always on top of me. And half the time, Kim will put her camera down. There's cats all over like her lap and they don't
Right.
leave you alone when you're working. They definitely don't.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm so glad that this is my side gig because now when my cats literally are the focus. So it's like I get to spend my time with my cats
Yeah.
doing this. So you just got to figure out a way to do that, Andy. Just
Yeah.
work the cat into the gig somehow.
Yeah. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I should just.
You are.
All right.
I mean, we gotta always figure it out so you can visit mine. I mean, live vicariously. Oh yeah, and by the way, yeah, we're correction. You need 20, not 18.
Yeah, that's right.
Hannibal made 20.
Yeah, Hannibal did make 20. So yeah, so she's gonna have her shirt coming out soon too.
Yes.
Now, for you, if I've missed the story, where did it begin where you started taking in more than, say, 1 or 2 cats? Or how did this start where it just started multiplying?
I used to do drugs, Andy. I mean, that's literally, I was, everybody already knows that, my history.
Right.
But
I didn't know that
back
part,
in the day, back in the day, there's no such thing as moderation in those like realms.
Yeah,
You know?
especially depending on what you're up to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, really, moderation doesn't exist. So when you do something, it's go big or go home, right?
Yeah.
But no, I lost my kids because of that whole lifestyle. And so I ended up with a couple of cats, and then I ended up with like 4 or 5 cats. And then I lost, I mean, I did not want to even get out of bed in the morning, but the cats gave me a reason to get out of bed. So then I just was like, I love the cats. And so I had to pour my focus into something. So I poured it into the cats, and then everybody started bringing me cats. And then I end up here. Yeah. Years later.
Wow.
Yeah. But it started 15 years ago.
Yeah. No wonder you love cats so much.
I do. They literally did. No, they literally did. And one of the ones that's responsible is my oldest cat, Feline. She's 15, and she is the original.
Oh,
yeah.
That's great.
Yep. Yeah. So that's yeah. Yep.
Feline is still spunky, and she's around a lot. She shows up in those live streams, and she's as lively as the others, I think.
Yep.
That's great though, to have the strength to turn things around for yourself, and
Yeah, it's not. It's difficult, especially when you're on your own to do it.
Yeah.
So like I said, I lost my kids. Obviously, I didn't have my kids around. I didn't have my family around. I had to get rid of every friend I had because, well, obviously.
Right.
So yeah, so when you got to try to do that and you're at your lowest, trying to figure out how to make that happen when you don't have any self-esteem is not easy. It's not an easy feat.
Yeah. So true.
So yeah.
But when you're at your lowest, the only place to go is up, right?
That's what they say. That's what they say. Now I've seen people think they're at their lowest and then find out that they're wrong.
Yeah. Don't make that mistake.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah. And yes, Ken, you're absolutely right. I traded a destructive addiction into a productive one. You're absolutely right for that. Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah. Well said. Very much. I can't type correctly half the time because my cats have jammed the button on my
That's the
so
truth,
funny.
Heather.
Yes. Jenna knows that firsthand. I mean, you guys, my cats do it on my laptop.
My Lila's right next to me. I mean,
yep.
Always. Whenever I'm here talking to Kim, Lila is either by my side or on my lap. And she's an office cat, I call her.
She definitely is. Oh my gosh. And I still have Hannibal is still right here.
Aw.
Just hanging out. She loves snuggling. I'm so glad that she's here because I'm so glad that she's now in a place where she's comfortable and loved because she enjoys the attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's a good girl.
That's gotta be one of your favorite rescues.
Yes, yes, for sure. And discount any gigs coming up in Red Bank.
That's hilarious.
Okay, now you have to explain. Unless it's not safe for work. I know how it can be.
No, it's something where I'm not sure. I have to try to remember how this even started, but people started asking me where I was playing. Just kind of Don Jameson, the real Don Jameson, is a comedian, right? And he works all the time. So, anyways, people would ask me where I have a gig. So I would just make up a town and a time and try to think of some ridiculous ending to go along with it. You think it's going one way and then it goes the other way.
Right.
So yeah. Joe's asking me about how many gigs come up in Red Bank.
Jesus, Joe.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Oh, hey, Joe.
I think he wants me to plug my gig. Anyone in the Red Bank, New Jersey area, this coming Thursday between 4 and 6 p.m., I'll be at the Circle K. Come by some comedy and Slim Jim.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's so good.
I love those guys.
They're from Red Bank. They're from Red Bank.
I love Red Bank. I got to go
Listen,
there.
Jay and Silent Bob are hilarious, and I'm not the kind of person that typically goes for that type. I'm not the type of person that usually goes for like what they call like the stoner humor. That's
Right.
I've never seen one of the Friday movies. I
Oh,
just
really?
haven't. I haven't. I don't know anybody that watches them. Maybe Florida will have to watch one.
Yeah.
I'll watch it with you. But
Okay.
it's never been my thing to watch movies like that. But Jay and Silent Bob are absolutely hilarious, and I love them.
They are. I got to
Yeah.
meet them 2 years ago. Finally. in
Did you
person.
really?
Yeah, I've had some interaction with Kevin Smith over the years, being a super fan of his
Okay.
work, and finally he came to Toronto up here, and along with Jay and Jeff Anderson, who plays Randall, Dante,
Right.
of course, Brian O'Halloran. So yeah, I got to meet those guys up in Toronto, and a little interaction. I got some pictures on my wall of the guys. So yeah, it was amazing to finally meet Kevin. It was great. Such a friendly
That's
guy too. So this
That's what
guy,
I've heard from other people too.
oh, just it gave me a big hug. So great to finally meet you. You know, it was cool.
It's
I
funny
love that.
because they're from where I'm from,
Right.
so
Yeah,
I met them, but I met them, 25 years, years ago, before they were really a big, huge thing. And it's
right.
interesting. Yeah. So I had like a personal, it was like when I met them, it wasn't as big of a deal. So now you say, oh, yeah, I met, Jay and Silent
Yeah.
Bob, and everybody's like, oh my gosh. But I didn't think anything of it when I was younger. And it was just, they were goofy guys,
Right.
comic
That's amazing
guys.
though. That's so great that you have that story.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
Clerks is 30 years old now.
I had a friend who dated who went out on some dates with Jay.
Oh,
So,
that's great.
yeah, so I have
I would love to talk to
connection
that
too.
person.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, I suppose that's kind of like me. So, obviously, growing up in Minnesota and growing up real close to Paisley Park, to those of us growing up there, well, of course, we've all met Prince. I mean, when you grow up in that area all the time,
Right.
he obviously goes places. And there was First Ave, which I know a lot of people don't know what that is, but it's just like a local club there that people perform at. And it's kind of a starter club when you're talking about the Twin Cities in Minnesota, and that's one of the places that Prince did a lot of stuff at. So I think everybody I know from Minnesota has met him at least once. But to us, it was like, it's just Prince. He lives here. Who cares?
Yeah,
and the rest of the world, they're like, oh my God, you met Prince. It's like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
That's amazing, eh?
Yeah, a lot of people will tell you that he was kind of a not the friendliest guy in real life.
Right.
And
I heard about that too. Yeah.
it's not that he wasn't friendly. He's just like dry. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah. Not necessarily
He
a
was kind of
sense
like
of humor.
monotone, kind of just basically there.
Right.
There was no like high point. He was not like overly friendly, but he wasn't
Right.
grumpy. He was just kind of, and people would take that as he was being a jerk. And it's like, dude, he's not being a jerk. He just doesn't have a personality that you want him to have.
Right.
Yeah.
His personality came out in his music.
Exactly. And when you're doing
Talent.
that much, I mean, what else do you want from the guy? Leave him
So
alone.
talented. Unbelievable.
I know he played all the instruments himself.
Yeah.
I mean, the man did everything, and he was so amazing. It's so sad that he's gone.
It sure is. Way
Did
too
you
soon.
hear the story of Prince getting on the bus and looking directly at the Asian comedian saying, "Do you know who Prince is?" and just got off the bus? I did not. No, I did not, and I can't let that one slide there. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah, he like I said, he just had a personality. I think people expected. I think this is something that happens for a lot of people that are famous. It's people expect them to have this over the top personality, and when they don't, people are disappointed. It's like, you got to remember, that was your expectation.
That's right.
And you didn't have any right to put that. He was not ever mean. He was never rude. Because, I mean, we ran into him a couple times, especially with going to First Ave. He was never mean. He was never rude. He just didn't have that over-the-top personality people wanted him to have. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, other people have different expectations when you meet somebody,
Yeah.
you know? They think, you know, they're going to be just as happy to meet you as you are with them or something.
I know, right?
Yeah. You don't know me? I've been
I know,
stalking
right?
you for years.
Wait a minute, Andy. Andy, you don't know me? Come on. That's hilarious. I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. So, Jenna, did we have anything else? Listen, Andy, my brain doesn't work half the time. Jenna is my brain.
No, it's a Sunday, so it's
Okay,
not like
brain.
we have anything to promote like for tomorrow because here we are back at the work week.
Yeah.
If there's anything else Andy wanted to share,
Yeah, is there anything
that
other
would
stories?
be okay. But I think he's answered all of my questions so far.
Yeah.
You know what I would love to do, actually, and I'll
What?
say this live so that everybody can be my witness. I would love to have Andy on one of our Cat Clips React streams.
Oh
in
my
the
God,
members show.
Sure.
That would be funny because we have a members show once a month and we do cat clips that Joe helps find some. The members of the channel send some in and we surprise Kim with them. Cute and funny ones, nothing, outlandish or anything, just viral cat clips. And I think that would be something fun to do with you because I know you'd have something to say about them.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
So we should invite you back. Yeah, we should definitely invite you back to do something fun like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that we've met everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love that.
All right. Sweet.
I like
Do you have any other stories? Any other cute stories you can think of that you just want to share?
Any cute stories?
Or funny stories? Anything? Hey, listen, it's your time to shine, man. If you can think of a story that you think is great, tell it.
Wow.
This is kind of like us walking up to a comedian and going, "Tell a joke."
I know, right? Yeah.
Right.
We have to keep in mind I'm not a comedian.
No, I know, but you got stories.
Remember
You got lots of stories. I know you do.
He's like, I'm really not as funny as you guys think I am, but I think Andy's hysterical. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Funny stories. I was mistaken for John Cusack once.
Really?
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, this is years ago. I had some more hair, but yeah, it was. And apparently, well, I mean, I don't know if he still is, but he was a chain smoker for many years. Yeah. He worked up here on a handful of movies, and yeah, he's always smoking apparently. But yeah, someone mistaken me for John Cusack, and long story short, this girl generally wanted me to go to bed with her that night. So I decided I was a nice guy. I always have been. I'm like, listen, I'm not John Cusack. I'm his manager.
Oh no! That's hilarious. Oh my God, that's so good. That sounds like that's funny.
But yeah,
I love that.
In your spare time, Andy, like if you have, I know you work a lot, you're handling a lot of different cookie jars, but in your spare time, like do you have hobbies or, do you do things that you don't do professionally that do you have any outside interests that would be interesting to talk about?
Well,
I like to garden, I'm not just a cat lady. I like the garden or,
Right. I mean, I love sports, though I don't play a lot of them anymore, time-wise. Love movies.
Yeah, I like films.
TV as well. When you grow up on television and movies, that was kind of my influence too. Like I always watch, say, like as a kid, like Happy Days or something. And
yes,
I'm like, man, I just love to be that guy, number 3 guy in the booth number 4 in background while they're doing a scene or something. I always kind of thought like that. I'd love to be a part of it. It's just such an influence. I didn't have brothers or sisters. I didn't have a dad. It was just my mom and I. And so I was literally raised on the TV set. I was watching movies and television all the time, constantly. So,
Media child,
exactly. So whether I try to be funny or try to copy someone, that made me laugh, copy their voice, or
so it's kind of like a childhood, dream. Like you're kind of doing that now. You're living.
It really is.
Yeah,
it really is.
That's great. It's so great.
And for many years, I kind of wasn't doing that. I just was more concentrated on my family. Like I literally helped raise my granddaughters, which was amazing. It was like getting to be a dad all over again. So, when all this started coming up, I wasn't really chasing the dream anymore. I still technically kind of wanted it, but I'm like, I'm okay if I don't get in the entertainment industry. I'm okay if I'm an artist and I just kind of do my own thing or whatever. And then when that kind of happened, when I kind of started thinking that way, all of a sudden it came to me like, here, you want to be in with the podcast? Here, you want to, help entertain people? I'm like, okay, I guess I do. Yeah, sure, that'd be great.
When you least expect it, right?
So that's it.
Yeah.
And, I kept working hard. I mean, art-wise, I was always working, always sending people stuff. Like I did a lot of, I wouldn't say free artwork, but it was artwork I was just trying to get out there.
Right.
I wouldn't say I'd advertise a comedy show that the guys were doing or something. I'd make a poster for them, but I wouldn't say, "Oh, hey, I made a poster for you. Give me $100." I just
Right.
put it out there. So I think Shuli appreciated that too, because when he hired me, he's like, "Look at all this work he's done for me for nothing. I wonder what he'll do for me if I'm paying him." I mean, that's my thoughts. I don't know if he actually thought that way or not. I guess maybe that's
I can
my
see
thinking,
that
but,
being
you know.
Shuli's thought process. Yeah.
Shuli's a very smart guy. He's got great instincts.
Yes.
I mean, he hired Joe, so that
Yeah.
alone,
You guys are a
Yeah.
great team over there. You really are.
Yeah.
I think so too.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I think you guys are all a bunch of great
Yeah.
guys. I really do.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It really is. I mean, we get to laugh every day and do what we love.
I
and
know.
You guys were talking hobby wise. I mean, my main hobby's always been art, so I'm doing that half the time anyways and getting paid for it now. So it's great.
It's a win.
I just finished an animation intro. We have an event coming up this month in Rochester, New York, August 16th and 17th, called DabbleCon.
Yes.
It'd take a bit to explain what DabbleCon is and why it is, but
We're not.
it is
Listen, Andy. We already know how that conversation goes when you try to explain that.
We're-
we already know that it always starts out with, "Hey, do you remember Howard Stern?" That's literally
That's
how that story
because
starts.
you want to at
every
least,
time.
yeah, you want people to at least kind of know what you're talking about, to help the story along. But it's a
We've
fun
already
event.
covered half of it.
It's the second one we've done, but yeah, I did
Yep.
a little animation intro for it. Joe and I have been working away, producing everything. I know Joe's been working very hard and doing a great job.
We're all excited, Andy. We're very excited.
It'll be a fun weekend,
Yeah.
and I can't
I'm
really
so
get.
mad. I'm not going to be able to go.
I know.
Next
Yeah.
time,
Next
Right?
just have to get the guys to we're Missouri. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's on the list yet.
We need to hold it in Missouri. Listen, we got Branson down here. We got Branson. Branson's a good place.
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm willing to even like Illinois. That's close.
I
We'll
love to go to
send
Illinois.
Andy to campaign for that.
Yeah.
Would Chicago be too far out of the way?
I was just gonna say Chicago would work for me.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. Chicago would be a great place for me. I'll go there.
Yeah, that's one of our demographic cities. Yeah, we could.
Ooh.
Could ask. Could bring it up. We have a list of places we want to
Yep.
go. Whether it's just this event that we're doing this month, or even just like the regular comedy shows. Like the guys want to get out on the road more and hold some events and try and reach out to more of our friends and fans that support us. And
Right.
yeah,
I
hopefully
always
we
say
get to do
Florida
that.
first. Florida first.
Oh yeah, I'm with you there.
Hey, how do
I'm
I
with you
mute
there.
Jenna? Where do I mute Jenna at? Can you help me out here? Okay.
No, Kim, because you would come to
No, 'cause
Florida.
exactly.
I
Yeah,
know. I
you
will.
do
I
that
will.
too.
I will. I'll go there too. Yep.
Yeah, you
I
would come
totally
to
will.
Florida.
That'd be great if we could all plan that out at the same time.
Yeah. No.
Stick
that's-
around
right?
when we end the stream, Andy. Don't leave.
Yeah, we'll talk
Okay.
about that.
And yeah, stick around with us for a second if
Yeah,
you have
Me and
the
Jenna has
time.
some ideas.
Yeah.
And just so you know, when you hear that phrase come out of one of our mouths, it's
Dun
not.
dun dun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But when somebody says Kim and Jenna have an idea, stick around. Just be prepared.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys. Well, Andy, it has been so fun talking to you. I absolutely. Chris Wiley says no muting Jenna.
That's
Uh,
right. Thank you, Chris. I knew I had a fan. I knew I had one. You know, Gertrude's not here today, but that's all right. Chris is here.
Yes, Chris. Listen, you just won Jenna's heart right there. But yes, Andy,
Hi,
I am
Emmanuel.
hi, Emmanuel, honey. I am so happy to have you here. I'm so happy to have gotten to talk to you and hear a few stories. I'm looking forward to hearing more, and we will definitely have you back for a cat clip reaction member stream. That'd be so much fun.
That would be fun. I love watching that. So yeah, it'd be fun to be a part of it.
Yay! I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
You bet.
Well, guys, now you have all met Andy. He has been a huge help here at the channel, and he has done so many things for us, and I am eternally grateful to him. And you will see more of him in the future. So, all that being said,
One for
Look,
the
my
road.
lips didn't even move. I'm a ventriloquist now.
so all right, guys.
Meow.
So tomorrow I go back to work, guys. So it's back to the old grind for me. And Jerry just popped in. Jerry, honey, we are just closing it out, sweetie pie. Heather says thank you, Andy, and Chris says thank you, Andy. Yes. So,
Thank
yeah,
you guys.
I think that's it. I think
I-
that's it. You want
I
to
had
join me
such
for a bye?
I had such a great time. I really appreciate you
Fun.
guys having me on the show. It's been fun hanging out with you guys and seeing the chat, and everyone's very friendly. Oh, hey,
Yes,
Jerry. Oh, hey, Heather.
I love it.
Uh,
All right. Well, on that note, we're gonna close it out and say goodbye. Are you gonna join me there, Andy?
absolutely.
All right. So thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.